Hi guys. Oops. It's me, Susan. Welcome to Cruisin' with Susan. This is Wednesday, February 4th, 2015. You may be noticing that I have a new hat that I'm wearing tonight. Sort of looks like a lucite pilgrim hat. But anyway, I'm going to tell you all about it later. I will take it off because it doesn't quite fit me, so it sort of teeters. This is going to be part of my medical report later on that I know all of you are waiting for with eagerness. First, I'm going to try to tell you something useful, if at all possible, although I don't know. I've tried about 3 times to start tonight talking about depression. It didn't really grab me. I think I'm going to talk about how to have goals without having expectations, because I think I'm really into that right now because I'm struggling, or have been, as some of you may know, I'm struggling with my learning to play the banjo, and that has been a very interesting ride for me. I've owned a banjo for about 2 years, but I would say for over a year I have not really been playing except for sporadically, and I honestly feel that the reason why is because I ran right up against expectations. Not that I would be good at it, because I don't think of myself as a musician. I think of myself as just sort of ordinary range, you know. I can carry a tune, I can read music, I don't have a great voice, I can sing a little. But playing an instrument was something that I did as a kid and then gave up in frustration. Because I was both my own expectations and I think a few that I got from my dad, who would watch me and point out mistakes, in a very nice way, of course, just to be helpful. But I don't think that helped me very much, and I have that internalized voice too. So anyway, the reason that I'm talking about that is because something I say to people often is, you can't solve a problem if you're too busy judging yourself for having it. And I think that's really, really, really important, because I couldn't solve this banjo problem until I could really be objective and sort of try to analyze what the issues were without getting into a kind of almost like a shame that I wasn't good at it, or I got stuck and I couldn't improve, and this felt like some kind of terrible flaw that I had, and I think it led me to avoid. I just noticed myself avoiding for one reason or another. I would just never get, or it would be too late, or I would be too tired, or I wouldn't have time, or something, you know, something always came up. So learning how to value the goal, I said I still want to have the goal of becoming able to improve and play the banjo. Not, you know, not professionally, not in a band or anything, just be able to play songs and maybe go to some beginners jams, things like that. I really want to do that. But it was only when I separated my expectation from that goal and stopped judging it and just tried to analyze it as what is the problem, was I able to really decide. And it was funny because I wanted to blame myself, but I decided the banjo I had was not, it was too low quality for me to actually improve on it. And I know that sounds like blaming somebody else, but I had occasion to play some other banjos, some other people's banjos, and it was easier. And I'm like, well, how come? You know, they were higher quality banjos, the strings felt different, everything felt different. And I don't know enough about banjos to know how different they can be in the neck and the, you know, just all this stuff that they have. So anyway, today I went to a guitar and banjo store, asked them to play some of their banjos, did so without shame. I mean, I wasn't trying to impress them. I was trying to hear the different sounds and feel how they felt differently and see if I could make some of these basically simple chords that I was having trouble with on my other banjo, and lo and behold, I could do it. I could do it. I mean, it wasn't great, but not only could I do it, it felt good. It felt like fun. So now, so I bought it, you know, and it's not like I can just throw that money away, but it's like I have a goal of improving my banjo playing. And once I can get rid of my expectation that if I don't improve, it means something bad about me, or I start judging myself or feeling like a failure, once I get rid of that, then it's very easy to be objective and try to figure out, okay, what do I need to change? What do I need to do? How do I need to move my hands? Things like that. And it's been an entirely different experience. So whenever you're thinking about something that you want to do or a goal that you've set for yourself, see how much judgment you're squeezing in there. See how easy it is for you to feel like a failure. I don't even believe in the word failure anymore. If you have an intention to make movement towards a goal and that doesn't happen, there's a reason. And you can figure that out once you stop being upset with yourself for not doing it. It's like people who want to watch what they eat or go to the gym or do anything. If you don't have something built into the system that allows for you to try to understand more about what interfered with my doing it, rather than just, I can't believe I didn't do it, okay, tomorrow I'll do it, I'm such a loser, all that kind of stuff. You know, it's a totally different experience. It just becomes a problem that can be solved. You might have to try different things and see what works and what doesn't work, but you take out that judgment and it's almost easy, and it's almost fun. It becomes sort of like solving a puzzle, you know? So try that the next time you have a goal for yourself and you don't understand why you're not doing it. Try to notice how you are judging yourself and how you have expectations. Let's say someone wants to work out and they say, okay, I'm gonna work out 4 times a week for 45 minutes. Okay, well that's fine. That can be a goal. But the first time you go, you're probably not going to stay 45 minutes, or if you do, you're not going to feel like going back anytime soon. Or if you skip a day, or anything happens that interferes, you can understand, okay, what was that and what do I need to change so that I don't have that interference? You can figure that out a lot better if you're not feeling ashamed or upset with yourself or like you're lazy or all of that juicy stuff that we sometimes do to ourselves. Okay, so think about that as far as a more effective way to plan your goals and to meet your goals. Leave out the expectations. It kills it every time. Okay, now back to my hat. Okay, okay, so you guys that came for personal improvement, personal growth, you can go if you want. This stuff is all about me and my apparently never-ending medical saga. So see you all next time. Next time, just by the way, I'm going to try to talk about online dating when you're older than dirt. Okay, so be sure to tune in because it'll be funny even if you're not older than dirt, and even if you're not online dating and not any of that stuff. It's turning out to be quite an entertaining journey for me. Okay, so I'll give you that little teaser for next time. Okay, bye. All right, the rest of you diehards, I don't know if any of you have figured out what this hat is. Okay, it is literally called a hat. They called it a hat when they gave it to me. They said, do you have a hat? I said, I don't know, I have lots of hats. What kind of hat are you referring to? So, okay, you may not think this is funny, and if you get grossed out really easily, you might want to just mute the sound for the next minute or two. Okay, this is a hat. You see on here a little... I'm sorry. I had to do... see, I have this problem with too much calcium is coming out in my... my kidneys are extracting too much calcium into my urine. That may be part of why I have a bone density problem. So in order to test this, you have to do what's called a 24-hour urine test. You know, no just pee in a cup and give it to the nurse. This is, they give you a little gas can. It looks like a little orange gas can, like if you run out of gas at the on the highway. You take your little gas can home. And if you're a girl, they give you a hat. See, if you're a boy, it's no problem. You just pee into the gas can like you would always do, or go outside or whatever you would do. But girls, it's not that easy. So this little hat, and I have washed it, by the way, so in case you were grossed out by that. This little hat sits on the toilet bowl and allows you to capture your urine. It has a little pouring spout here, then you pour it into your little gas can and keep it in your refrigerator for 24 hours, and then you bring it to the lab the next day, and you have to walk in carrying your little gas can full of pee into the lab. So I made sure I was there at 8 o'clock. Not that I mind if anybody sees it, because I mean, we all pee, so I don't have to feel embarrassed about that. It just, the whole thing struck me so hilarious. But anyway, turns out, this is my second one that I had to do, that since they gave me a very, a kind of low-dose diuretic that makes me go more frequently in the morning when I take it. My calcium level, which was twice as high, it's supposed to be 250, and it was like 480 the first time. Now, since taking this little diuretic, it's nothing. It doesn't, by 11 o'clock, it's all worn off. It's not inconvenient or anything. It's now down to 270. So it's significantly lower. They still slightly elevated, but nothing to worry about. So that's really cool. That was good news. The bone marrow biopsy that I had, I think I posted the last time, the night before I was going to do it. I'm not sure. It might have been the night I actually did it. Anyway, I went and got the results of that, and it was, as she told me, it was primarily to rule out like worse stuff like leukemia and cancer and blood cancer and all this. I guess that's what leukemia is. Other things, major things that are wrong. And I didn't have any major things wrong with me. Still have this immune system suppression of the lymphocytes. It's also known as T cells. That's why people with HIV have the same kind of thing that I do. But I do not have HIV. As they've tested 1 million times, and they did again. So she basically said, okay, we still don't know why it's happening, and we don't know if your baseline is stable. You're supposed to have like 800 of these things, or 900, and I have 260. And if it goes any lower, then they're going to be concerned and have to do something. But if that's my baseline, they're just going to watch it. So she said, come back in 3 months and we'll test it again. But in the meantime, she wants me to go visit with the next guy up the ladder, who is not in Dallas or Washington. Those are the way up the ladder guys. This guy is someone who works at MD Anderson, in Houston, although it doesn't mean that it's not about cancer, but he's a specialist in this kind of immune system issue. So they're going to set up an appointment for me to go over there. And I said, can't he just look at my records? And she said, no, he needs to see you, meet with you, talk with you, and get a feel for how you are. And if there's something that he sees that she didn't see, then he's going to refer me to some hematologist over there. So obviously I hope that doesn't happen, because I don't feel like trekking off to Houston every other weekend or whatever I'm going to have to do. But overall, I would say that that's good. It's still there. It's still an issue that makes me vulnerable to infection. But since so far I have not had anything other than those yeast infections in my esophagus, which are currently have not recurred. And from what I read on the internet also, that the focus is really on managing the infections that come up, not necessarily trying to actually treat the immune suppression, because that takes a lot of heavy duty, like maybe a bone marrow transplant, stuff like that. You only do that if you're really getting life-threatening infections as a result of this problem, which I'm not. I feel better, and I feel as good as I've ever felt in my life, which is kind of weird since I am older than dirt. And getting older still every day. But anyway, that's my current thing. I also went to the endocrinologist, and the growth in my thyroid, that's about 1 inch long, which I said, that's pretty big, isn't it? He said, yeah, well, it's considered medium. He said he's seen people with having like 6 inches, like it's sticking out. One person, he said, had it was so big that it like pushed their windpipe out of the way. So it's having a medium one is fine. He said it hasn't changed in size. We'll just keep an eye on it. And then next thing I'm going to do is in the fall, I'm going to have another bone density test and see if all this stuff I've been doing, taking all these drugs and weight-bearing exercise and calcium and all that stuff, has helped my osteoporosis. So that's an update for you diehards. I appreciate all of y'all that have asked about it and are cheering me on. I thought I was having a problem with I also have a large kidney stone that has remained silent so far, and I thought I was having a problem because I was having some pain in the right side of my back, but then I couldn't remember which side the kidney stone was on, so I called them and they said it's on the left side. So I don't know what, and the pain, it only happens after I go to yoga, which I think is weird. So there's something in there that clenching my muscles or something is doing. But anyhow, so that's the update on my medical. I don't have any immediate new stuff to go to. Just the blood work again in 3 months. So thank you all for your support, and I may be able to phase out the medical report part of these broadcasts and stick to the fun part. By the way, I'm starting my boot scoot line dancing classes next week, so I'll look forward to telling you all about that. And then once I have mastered them, I am going to go to country western dance here in San Antonio, and I may even take you along to give you a little inside look at the country western dancing scene in town here, as also part of my thing on online dating when you're older than dirt. Maybe I'll bring you along on one of my dates. Oh God. Okay. I mean, I don't know. You just gotta laugh. Everything is just so silly. Thank you all for watching. I really love and appreciate you. I realized today how often I think about sort of wanting to tell you things. I just think of stuff and I want to share it. And you guys are the people that I share most of my stuff with. I mean, you wouldn't believe it how much thinking about stuff I do. You're lucky you're not around all the time, because I would just be blabbing your head off. But thanks for watching. I think I've probably gone on way too long, and I will get back to you with my next installment on online dating when you're older than dirt. And in the meantime, please remember to live well, laugh often, and love much. And I will see you soon on Cruisin' with Susan. So long.